Hello everyone, GenmaTheSamurai here, and welcome back to this part of Shining Force 3. Alright guys, so last time, we had a boss fight with Spiriel that went really intense. I can't believe I got that lucky. Like, that was just pure luck that I had any chance to finish her off. It sucks about the statue though, I'll be honest. That's definitely unfortunate. But yeah, so I guess plot-wise, they destroyed this Elbasum statue, which is now going to loosen the seal on the monster, the Bullzome demon thing. And so now we're gonna try and save Julian, actually, because Julian got attacked by Golem, I think was its name. So, okay. Gosh. Once across the bridge, we'll be in Aspinia, back in Republican territory. I don't see any sign of Julian. I wonder if perhaps he was swallowed by the rapids. I hope not. The area around the waterfall basin is the fastest of the rapids. We have no chance of catching up. Are you searching for something Republican, Rabble? Hello. I'm surprised you didn't notice us. Do you feel that safe having reached Barand, or are you just preoccupied? You Imperials are far more tenacious than I expected. Will you let us return home in peace? You have caused a good deal of trouble for the Empire. Why should we let you pass? I mean, we do have all of them angry at us because they all think we stole the Emperor, so I mean... Yeah, but I understand the comment. You have abducted our Emperor and declared war against the Empire. We will not allow such outrage. Forward, men! We are the most elite force in the Empire. We shall eradicate Symbios and his treacherous compatriots. Don't let even one escape our wrath. Gosh. While we are searching for Julian, we're in infernal time to run into the Imperial army. However, we have no choice but to prepare for battle. Right. I fear for Julian, but we can't risk our cause for him alone. Be careful against General Garzel. He is strong and has defeated many. He will be well prepared for us. Gotcha. I should have saved that MP restorative from last part for friggin' someone else and just made that realization, but you know what? Whatever. Okay. I ain't gonna let that clutch victory go. Alright. We're gonna keep this rolling. So that treasure chest looks like a thing. I don't think I can reach it normally, so I'm probably gonna have to use Mr. Birdman to get to that. Gosh, I have all of these guys. So, let's see. Frickin'... This is a weird perspective. This is like the only map that like things about it don't make sense, where it's just kind of clearly cutting off at invisible walls here. Okay then. So, yeah, the terrain of this map is certainly interesting. Okay. Oh yeah, I should mention, like, Shining Force 1 did have some interesting maps. Not super many, but it did have some, and I think one of my favorites, just to talk about this, there was a giant laser cannon, which was pretty interesting. We had basically everyone in its line of fire got hit. Oh, so now I have Justin. Okay. But yeah, everyone in its line of fire, including enemy troops, would get hit, and that was interesting. It was an interesting element, for sure. And I'm glad to see that this game is filled with a lot more maps with weird gimmicks like that. Okay, though. This music's nice, though. This is the same one that was, used in that, like, canyon thing. Gosh, Sakuraba, he did a good job with this soundtrack, though. Like, it's very atmospheric, but, he did a good job. Let's see. Oh my, so much waiting. Okay. Go Grace. I'm gonna go there. And Obright, you're gonna go there. Sorry about that. Okay. So, Noon, you're gonna go here. And right. So send Symbiose, I guess. If I move Dantaray next to him, we'll block that path. Right at that corner. So Dantaray, or someone like that, and please move next. Okay. Yes, Dantaray, sweet. So, item, equip, just so I can get you a kill again, because Dantaray, you're starting to fall behind now. And I need you to be my meat shield, as usual. Okay. I need to get the relationship points back up. That's the thing, like, once you... I guess, yeah, now that I've started letting people die and stuff, it's really started to punish me, I think. I think, anyway. At least that's what I'm gathering from all of this. I also want to say, if any of you guys are watching and you're just kind of internally screaming at the screen, you're like, Genma, what are you doing? You're doing it wrong. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best. I have my reasons for going about this, and, again, when I get to Scenario 2, I will definitely consider if it is, like, you know, if you guys do want to see, Scenario 2 really bad, I can definitely try and, handle my commentary, or, like, the way I record it different than I did for this playthrough. But, yeah, just as is. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like... But, like, you guys have given me some interesting advice so far, as like, some of the comments I've seen. And, you know, it will pay off at some point, I'm sure. You know, at least over this, like, first week. So, like, okay, I'm saying this in response when it may not even be slightly applicable, because you'll be seeing this, like, weeks later. So, yeah, but, I mean... I'm just having a lot of fun with the game, and I hope that's, you know, enough for some of you guys. Like, I'm just really liking it. It's a really good game. Like, I don't know, it's... I don't know what I'm trying to even say right now, guys. This is a very solid tactics game. It's, again, by far my favorite Shining Force right now. Like... It hasn't done anything yet to really, like, go like, oh, this is horrible. Like, I used to get so horribly, Alright, I'm stopping right now. I don't, again, I have a fear the more I complain about Shining Force 2, that people are gonna do it. Because all I've heard is that people really like Shining Force 2. And that's the one that's the famous one. So, I do have a fear, you know, the more I talk about it, just like, I'm just gonna get blasted for what I'm saying, you know? I think you guys are a lot more civil than that, but sometimes you never know, you know? It's like, some fan bases you never know. Well, let's do that. Go frickin' Dantaray. Level 10, awesome. So, let's see. But yeah, story-wise, like, it has been dragging on for a really long time. I would have thought we would have been out of Imperial territory by now. I will say that much. I think that, like, this whole bit of us running away is definitely going on for a really long time. But it's also kind of like... I also see the appeal in this plot in that way, though. Like... You know, it's intense. We're trying to escape this territory because we started, like, way... from what I'm gathering, we started, like, way in Imperial territory. So this has just been a really difficult journey, and the Empire, at every step, has been doing everything it can to keep us out. At this point, like, trying to chase Bullzome is just, like, not even the main thing. The main thing is, like, we gotta get out. And then we can, like, assess our situation, but it's just, you know, not as easy as it sounds, but we're almost there. And I'm wondering what's going to happen once we are back in Republic territory, but I think the Empire is just not going to let up. That's what I'm thinking. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a really strong, opening premise, you know, having to escape and, just deal with, you know, the fact that, like, this whole war thing is going on, and I guess my only thing that I still want to see is, like, okay, so far we have a general motivation for why these bad guys, or like, what these bad guys want, but next, if this is gonna be, like, absolutely good writing, the next thing we need to do is find out why they want to do what they want. And so, I don't know if the game is going to do that, but, like I said, that's the next major thing. Like, will it deliver? Well, you know, I don't know. Yeah, so Dante will only be able to be attacked by 2 people, where I positioned him. So that should work out pretty nicely. Let's move. Yeah, you can't do anything yet, Justin. But, you'll be able to do something soon. And Irene, you're gonna move in with the group. Meh. I can't get over Spirial. The fact that we all frickin' died, man. That was insanity. Yeah, frick it. You're only gonna be attacked by 2 people anyway, so. Do, 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 do. Okay, let me move you there, and right. Yeah, Medion, I'm wondering, like, what his plot is on about. You know, I also had a conversation with a friend about a lot of stories, you know, that have different things going on at the same time, where, like, in those narratives they will cut back and forth between characters, and that she was kind of saying something along the lines of, like, you know, there's always that one character that has something, like, more interesting going on that you want to know about. Well, bye, Eldar. The Birdmen have never been good in these games, I swear. They've never been good in these games. Okay. Well, that stupidity out of the way. Yeah, so that's something I can kind of agree on. Though I think, like, which story route is better sometimes, depending on the story, will kind of depend on the person who's reading it, I feel. Or reading / you know, playing / whatever. The thing is, that's not entirely applicable to this, because, like, you know, we're sticking with one perspective for a while, and, like, you know, when I want to switch to scenario 2, I'm gonna have to see, you know, what's going on with, you know, whoever's next, which I'm pretty sure is Medion. And I think that will certainly be an interesting experience, I guess. Just, you know, I think it will still probably apply to some degree, though, just like, well, this plot line was much more interesting. And I'll have to kind of, like, figure this out. Like, again, my only thing is that, like, we've been escaping for so long that, like, justifiably, fittingly, I'm starting to get a little bit fatigued from running away and fighting these guys. But at the same time, it is actually broken up with, like, things happening. Like, we're learning things about the bad guys, and, you know, again, that they want to revive this Dark God thing. I guess, yeah, just going forward, kind of like I said before, what will make this work will be very much dependent on, like, where they go with those villains next. That's what I would say. Oh. Yeah, okay. Yeah, my throat. I need to drink some water, guys. Here, let me... Okay, so, let me move Khan over here. Okay. Eh. So, let me attack you? Yeah. And then maybe someone else can move down. We need to heal Dantare, like, as fast as possible. That is a definite fact. Okay, cool. Awesome. Magic, heal, and Dantare. It's freaking graphics, man. But you know, like, I guess here's something to kind of bring up as like me just, you know, shooting the breeze with my like thoughts on stuff. So like, it's clear this plot is incredibly ambitious. There's a ton going on. And there's a ton of games that do have crazy ambitious plots that have a ton going on. And a lot of the time, you know, there does seem to be kind of a... When you're talking about narratives with people, and there's certain kinds of narratives that definitely resonate with different kinds of people more. There's people that, you know, they love their very simple stories, where you follow only, like, probably one protagonist, and in those kinds of stories, you know, usually the scales aren't super big. And usually in fantasy, you don't, at least especially in video games, rarely, you don't really run into, again, fantasy games that have very simple narratives very often. I would say probably, like, in that vein, I'm trying to think here, because, like, I know there was a game that I really liked that was called Crisis Core, which even then, towards the end, it devolved into these really crazy high-stakes stuff. But it was a very simple story with one central protagonist, and it did also serve as like a nice backbone to Final Fantasy VII. But most of the time, though, you have these really crazy ambitious games, and a lot of them, they struggle to keep... you know, they have these really crazy ambitious games, but a lot of the time they also have the restriction, I'm going to call it a restriction, of the fact that, you know, they have to tell it all in one game. Because I think there is a point where you have a story that's so big that either you got to make the game really long, or you got to do multiple games. That seems to be what Camelot does, and I think in theory I love that about them, but it also can make it really hard for people to, like, maintain interest. If you're, like, going for sales, it's not a very good way to go about making your games. So it is kind of interesting on that front, but there's also kind of, I guess I'm going to back up a bit and kind of talk about, like, these narrative things. So, like, to some people, a really complicated plot can be viewed in any number of ways. It can be viewed as, like, a good thing. It can be viewed as a bad thing. It can be viewed... and a lot of the time it does boil down to execution. And it is incredibly hard to execute a very high-scale plot. Especially when you start throwing in a ton of characters. And so I think, like, for this game, you know, like, this is an incredibly high-scale plot. And I think the fact that it is spread over these, like, different routes, and the fact that, like, I think as a whole, I am having actually less characters to work with, so far anyway, than the average Shining Force game, that does help things as well. But it does still kind of suffer in a few areas, like, and some of these are just Camelot decisions, like, we gotta have a silent protagonist, so we don't really know what the silent protagonist feels or wants. We, as the player, you know, we care about the king and we don't want him to get in trouble, but, you know, like, what does Synbios feel or whatever? Well, I mean, maybe if I switch perspectives and it pulls a golden sun, maybe I'll get to see what he feels about all this, but I mean, I don't know, it's just kind of one of those things. So, I guess to say where I fall on this camp, and you see that I'm enjoying this game a lot. I love complicated stories, but it is a double-edged sword. There are a lot of not great complicated stories. I wish there was it just defaulted to healing. I was all into my little storytelling there. Frick. So, yeah, I love, like, you know, complex, high-scale stories with, like, you know, an intense amount of world building. Like, that stuff's fascinating to me. I like, you know, in an RPG that, like, there's a world that, like, I can continually learn more about, you know, and that there's these characters, these NPCs that, like, you know, feel very alive. I love a lot of things that, you know, like, Camelot's Golden Sun series kind of did do for me as a kid. But at the same time, a lot of things Camelot does are things that I wouldn't necessarily call, like, great ideas for RPGs. Stuff like, you know, I mean, the side protagonist is an old tradition. I'm not going to knock that very much because it can be done very well. And they do it pretty okay. And they're pretty self-aware about most of their silent protagonists, actually, which is amusing. But as far as, like, their writing, they do have a tendency to have very basic characters and stories that... I mean, this is by far the most crazy thing I've ever seen Camelot concoct on a story writing level. Like, if you guys ever played Golden Sun, you know that game has, like, barely any story. It's just go to town and do things, the game. You know? So it is cool to see them try something like this. And I would love to see them put this kind of effort towards, like, you know, a regular turn-based RPG in the future. I think they tried to a bit with Dark Dawn, actually, but there were a lot of people that were not a huge fan of the way Dark Dawn was handled. But now that, like, I look back on it, it did seem like it was Camelot going back to doing some of the plot elements they would have done back with, you know, Shining Force, because, again, Golden Sun was very low-key, I guess. I'm just running my mouth and stuff. But, yeah, there's, like, a lot of story narratives that, like, you know, are very complicated that don't work at all. Stuff like Kingdom Hearts, but is very commonly complained about, and I think the reason games like Kingdom Hearts don't work, though, is that a lot of the time, Kingdom Hearts has no rules, or at least no rules that, like, stay consistent. It retcons itself at every single corner, and so because of that, it has a serious problem of, like, why should I care about this really convoluted narrative when it feels like you're just making things up as you're going along? And you say that to the wrong people, you know. There's a lot of Kingdom Hearts fans, you know, they're like, oh man, Nomura's a genius, he writes all this stuff. And, like, I'm not saying this to knock on the guy. I love his artwork. I love his, I love his stories for Kingdom Hearts, even if they do get kind of absurd. So, like, and this is another thing, guys, don't take me criticizing the games as me criticizing the creator, because that's not... Because, again, I don't know enough about Nomura to really actually definitively say, like, anything about him. He seems like a nice guy. I don't know. He's very well respected within Square Enix, and he contributed a great deal to a ton of games I like, and as an artist, he is one of my biggest inspirations. It's just, you know... You're falling right into our trap, Symbiosis Army, huh? What? Surrender now, Symbiosis. It's time for you to hand over King Benadram. Huh? Edmund? General Edmund? If only I had been defeated by the Imperial Army, we wouldn't have to meet like this. Oh, I see. Hand over King Benadram, Symbiosis. I have no quarrel with you, but I will kill you if I must. How could you betray your country, General Edmund? Betray is such a harsh word. The General's only following his ideals. Now what is your answer, Symbiosis?
Although the Republic was founded on ideals of justice, ultimately we have not established the true equality in Aspinia. All we've done is establish a new empire. We intend to start over and bring a new order to Aspinia. By allying with the Empire, Edmund? Our work in Aspinia is only half done. Any change worth making takes time. Enough with your speeches, Benetram. Our people suffer in poverty while we ourselves have become another empire. I trusted your words and waited, but where are the results? What has changed? Enough stalling.
I'm trying to think of different voices.
Enough stalling, Symbios. Put down your weapons, surrender, and hand over Benetram.
No. Alright. We took care of Varlin. We can whack you in the face. Actually, that was Medion.
I see. Seems you plan to be uncooperative to the very end. If you won't listen to reason, you leave me no choice. To arms, my men! Advance on the enemy!
The gods, we've been flanked! Son of a gun.
What's this, General Edmund? Wait, what's wrong, men? Cut off the Symbiosis army's retreat!
Are these guys gonna join us?
Look there, they have finally arrived. Now our victory is secure, huh? What's wrong, Edmund? Something's not right. My force is larger than that. Where are the rest?
I believe I'm to blame for that. The rest of them are being kept busy by my army, Edmund. Yeah, Medion! Oh, he's always coming through for us.
Prince Medion.
You'd sacrifice innocence for your new order? That hardly sounds ideal to me. Time to wake up, Edmund.
I've lost respect for you, Garzel. You conspired with the Republic traitors and plotted to kill King Benetram. Shut it, Grantak. What does a peon like you know about anything?
Grantak? Okay.
If this is an example of the fine standards of the Imperial Knights you prayed about, I want to learn nothing of them.
I'm noticing kind of a formula here. I get into a bad situation, Medion saves the day. I get into a bad situation, Medion saves the day. I wonder where they're going with this, though. Anyway.
And you, Campbell, once I crush the Symbiosis army, I'll have your bones set in the foundations of our ideal nation. You there, attack the Symbiosis force. The rest of you, go after the Median army.
Leave Edmund's main forces to me. Go after Garzel and those other traitors, Lord Symbios.
We appreciate your help, Prince Medion. They've lost their momentum, Symbios. Seize this opportunity.
God dang it. Okay, Aspia soldier. Okay, so I guess the Republic is Aspia. So only now do I know that. Okay, whatever. Okay. So, anyway. It's interesting. Yeah, Medion, though. I mean, he's a cool guy. I'm just wondering where they're going with him. Go, Justin! Woo! Okay, so... Picks up Antidote Herb. Let's move everyone across this... Okay, no, that's not happening. Uh-oh. Yikes! Okay. Oh my word. Okay. That is not good. That is not good at all. Right, let's, if we can, let's get Mascarin out of the frickin' way, man. Okay, Right, we have to deal with those guys behind us since it's not a lot of them. I'm gonna take another drink of this. Okay, well, this is certainly a change of events. That's neat that, like, you know, they have Edmund, like, joining them, I guess. Yeah, it's... Gosh. They really are capturing this whole aspect of, like, this war is just tearing apart everything. I just wish they, like... again, this is now a case of show don't tell going on right now because, you know, they're talking about, you know, the Republic and how it's got all these problems. As far as I know, the Republic could have been great, but they're kind of like not establishing a lot of things very well. Yeah, what can you do? I don't know. I don't know how much of this stuff I can like pin down to like this game is old, you know, which I think a good chunk of it I can do that with, but yeah. But yeah, this plot does seem fairly epic for the time it came out, but it's also like it's no Final Fantasy VII, but at the same time, Final Fantasy VII is like a classic.
Take this.
Woo. Dude, Justin, you're wrecking it, and I just got you. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Jeez. These guys do a ridiculous amount of damage. Why? Man, you guys just stick together, don't you? Okay. Well, let's do that.
Get ready.
Tornado! That was still insane with frickin'... Let's just keep going back to that, but frickin', Spiria's move. I was... just did like a spinning drill attack. Alright, let's do that. Cool. And I'll probably move, Mascarin, because she's gonna be next. Let's see. Actually, I should look this up, because I brought this up the other part. I'm only now gonna deal with this. Yeah, I don't know what that name even means. I can't find anything. It could just be... Maybe her name was masculine. You know, if you guys have played Tales of Symphonia, there's like some really weird names that they had in that game. Like, one of the main characters' name was Refill because she used healing spells. Ridiculousness. So maybe in Japan her name is masculine, and then they changed it to Mascarin. That's my theory. You guys can give your own game theory. Subscribe to Game Theory. Don't subscribe to Game Theory. Okay, so we got frickin' so many of these guys to deal with. Okay. I think this does more damage. I'm pretty darn sure. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, that didn't kill. That, of course, is in there. Okay, and... Right. Let's do this. Are you freaking serious? What are these guys made of? Okay, item. Alright, guys, warning. Flashing about to happen. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Yeah! Okay, we did kill one of them. Okay, so that's good. Jeez. Okay. Attack that one? Yeah, let's do that one. Maybe we can... Why? I hate it when plans backfire like that. Son of a gun. Okay, I have to kill
Take
that
this.
one. Boop. Okay, Grace, please move next. Oh, Irene, that works. Okay. Let's do that on Dante. Sorry about that. I was just like trying to think here. So these guys, they still do a ridiculous amount of damage though. But they're basically done. So Cybele, kill that one. And then the other one, we can get killed. And then we can finally move on. Drink some more water because my throat. Ugh. Well, I think we're almost done with this chapter. Like, once we frickin' beat this thing. Or this one. Alright. And... cool. Yeah, I mean, this is still, like, a cool setting for, like, a fight like this. Next to a waterfall. Gosh, my throat. Why? Guys, like, seriously, if you guys are YouTubers, don't do what I'm doing right now. It's not good. Takes a lot out of you. Heal. Ooh. Ooh, you. We gotta keep our healers alive. Okay. Now, we gotta use, Obright, probably. Whack him in the face. Okay. Sweet, now we're level 10. Okay. Now, we got these guys to deal with. Noon, you're gonna hang out with the group here. Oh my goodness. Well, I didn't expect, you know, those reinforcements, but it's okay. It came with a good, you know, plot moment. Gosh, I was just going off about plot elements for like a really long time. This is gonna be a really long fight, isn't it? Ugh. What part is this? This is like part 18. Well, we might be going a little over 6 parts this time in terms of this chapter, because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be willing to go through with this. Well, let's try and move forward a bit. And... cool. I mostly just know these tunes because I've been looking them up, you know, to put into the end slates and stuff. Again, Sakuraba did a really good job with this soundtrack. I'm gonna make this a longer part, though, just in case. Well, I could do it now. I could cut now, and then there's a better chance the next one will be a normal length. So, alright. Well, guys, I got a ton done, definitely. No, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to this part and listening to my ramblings about plots and all that kind of stuff. You guys can feel free to comment on this video, and I'll see it whenever this goes up. Your thoughts on, like, what kind of narratives you guys like. Do you like high-scale narratives? Do you like low-scale narratives? Why do you think one works? I'd like to see a whole little debate going just to see what everyone's thoughts are on the matter, because I think it's an interesting topic to talk about in terms of RPGs, and yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool. But either way, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time. Alright. Bye!